or is it wrong? Is it constitutionally sound, yes or no? Are constituency problems being solved? Long-standing constituency problems, even the Prime Minister himself in the statement that he made. I'm going to ask my producer to pull that again, because some of you people don't remember. For decades, for a long period of time, people were oppressed. And majority rule was to mean something for an oppressed people. Are we going back to those days where we're beginning to oppress one another and speak disrespectfully of one another and not appreciate people's point of view? Some of you want to call them some unkind names, which I cannot tolerate on air. I think let us try and be respectful. You have a right to disagree, but do it respectfully. Now, I said there's a way to deal with a government or an individual who is a representative in a particular constituency. There is a procedure to deal with that individual or those personalities who are not acting in the best interest of the Bahamian people. And what is in the best interest of the Bahamian people is open for interpretation. That's one thing that people like to talk about. But when I look at it, I analyze it in light of what the Constitution says. Is it constitutionally sound, yes or no? See, most of you don't know the Constitution. I'm going to have to delve deep into the Constitution, particularly on articles that relates to governance in this country, as it relates to representation, as it relates to ministerial responsibility, as it relates to the office of Prime Minister. And let me say, the office of Prime Minister is a very powerful office. Don't you ever underestimate that power in that office. The only entity that can really keep that particular office under control are the representative in the House of Assembly. But most of them are looking for a position from the particular personality who sits in that office. So you got a problem right there. And they're not going to tell whoever it may be in that office, we ought not to walk that way. We ought not to get involved in things that are not constitutionally sound because they don't know the Constitution themselves. See, that's another problem we have in this country. You have elected personalities. If you were to put the Constitution, the Commandments in front of them, to save their lives, they'll all die. All of them. And do not think because a person has had legal training and is an attorney at law or of law, because many attorneys know nothing about the Constitution. They're not constitutionally sound. Now, they may have training in other legal areas because the law profession is wide open. The thing is, the Constitution also is for anyone and everyone. And I've heard a lot of misunderstanding on the Constitution of this country. So many things are being said now in this election campaign which are not constitutionally sound. It's my duty as a broadcaster to correct those things and give you the exact article, the exact place in the Constitution to back it up. You're going to get that from me, as I've always been doing. I even see a lot of people latching on to Article 24.1. And I emphasize the very last phrase of Article 24.1, which you have ignored for 53 years. You didn't pay any attention to that. That last phrase is so important to the welfare of the Bahamian people. It gives you the authority to do much more than you think. And you just read right over that, not understanding constitutional law. You let the people get away with it. And so what they are doing, they think they're doing the right thing. You do not leave it up to a government, you do not leave it up to a political party to protect your interests. And the word interest in the Constitution is plural, meaning you have more than one interest to protect. And if you as constituents, and let me just say this before I bring my guest on, you who live in that particular constituency, you may be a member of a political party, but you are not obligated constitutionally to vote for that particular personality who the particular party may send as a candidate for that particular area. Because that political party has no jurisdiction over the electoral process of this country. Do you understand how serious that is? They have no jurisdiction, none whatsoever. You can be a member or a follower, and most of you are just followers. And you hear all the noise and the confusion and the music, and they put out some cake, or they put out some rum, they put out some chicken. They don't put out turkey. Turkey is too expensive, so they put chicken out there. And some other things out there for you to eat and drink, and then your head gone. You're not thinking anymore. I believe you got a call on the line. But perhaps you better call early, like this call is doing. Call you live on here. Go ahead, please.
Professor.
Hey, what'd you say?
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm calling from Freeport.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, Professor, I have provided a service for the Grand Lucayan Hotel.
Okay.
It closed down. I'm one of the vendors, and the vendors haven't been paid. No vendors has been paid yet at the date.
Okay.
And I want my money.
You should have that money.
Yeah, the government can spend money on other things. They need to have my money. A lot of vendors need to have their money.
Right.
So, I thought I'd just mention that to you. That
I'm glad you mentioned, but let me just add this. How many vendors are you looking at?
Quite a bit, but I'm one of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now,
I'm just one of them.
I'd like the vendors to look at Article 24.1, the very last phrase of Article 24.1. I don't want them to just sit by and allow people to walk all over them. That doesn't have to happen. The difficulty with a lot of us is we do not want to challenge whoever it may be that owes this money. You have to challenge them, Bahamians. Because I can tell you some people from another organization who were members of a particular union, and there was a farm that owed these people money. Do you know they're in their graves today and they never got their money? And I don't understand why it had to go that way. It doesn't have to go that way. You have to challenge people who are sitting on your money. And you put a lot of heat under them. You put a lot of fire under them. You put a lot of pressure on them. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, Professor, I'm here.
Yeah. See, this is what has to be done, and it has to be done in an organized fashion. I have always said to people, if you do not know how to organize yourself, you call me. I'll get you organized.
Yeah, Professor, I listened to the show yesterday, and one gentleman made a mention that the Prime Minister had a budget of $80-something million travel.
Yeah, you said 86, I think it was.
60-something, whatever.
And 60-something was spent.
Professor, the money was owed to the vendors is very much less.
Less than that.
Less than that.
Yes.
Big time, less than that.
Yeah, I believe you.
I mean, where are our priorities, right? I need my money. I mean, a lot of vendors I know, I wouldn't call them, but I need my money.
No, you see?
And, I think the public needs to know that. And this is one of the reasons why I'm coming on the air. And I want you to know, and I want the public to know that we haven't been paid.
But I'm glad you said it. And that is why I am saying These very same people have to look at it from an organized point of view. And while I agree with you that you ought to have your money, it takes an organized, strong, organized approach to deal with these hard headed, stubborn individuals or groups that believe they could hold up on people's money and people go in the grave and don't have their money. Their relatives haven't gotten the money.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is the beginning. I'm going to come back to this again if it's necessary.
No, you should.
I just want them to know. I hope that they can hear. I hope the Prime Minister can hear exactly what I'm talking about. Saying.
But I can tell you one thing.
Responsible.
You look at the track record of the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. They have been violating this Constitution for 53 years from its inception. And people need to know that. How could we allow a government to violate our supreme law for 53 years and let them get away with that kind of crap? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm saying to you, we are not doing what we ought to be doing. We're just allowing these people to walk all over us. It takes the collective will of a people to bring about the kind of changes that are essential to move the country forward.
I agree. Well, I'm going to get a few of the vendors, and you'll get back for the show. You don't get paid within another few days or a week or so, then you'll hear me again.
Yeah.
You know.
And if they need me to help them to organize, I'll be happy to help them.
Okay.
So you let them know that comes from Professor Sidney McGarter, Walter Thompson. I'm just tired of this crap.
Exactly.
Sick and tired of it. But people need to understand you must be organized, very strongly organized. And I say that the same thing to people in the constituencies. All these constituency problems have been knocking around for the last 53 years. And then people can tell me nothing has happened. You mean to tell me you were voting for 53 years and nothing has happened in your, anyhow, constituency? Almost said, slip away. But
yeah, Professor, thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling. I really appreciate that call.
Concern, and
yes.
I will come back again if nothing happens within the certain period.
In a certain period, yeah. Please, well, I'd like to hear from you.
Okay, Professor.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm delighted that caller called in because I have said to you, Bahamians. Oh, we got another caller. That producer just told me that. Call you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Professor.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Very good, very good. All right, just an update in reference to the Lucayan Hotel
yes.
over here in Freeport.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Professor, for the folks who were paid on the 26th of December,
yes, ma'am.
Those folks went home and haven't been offered anything else since.
Yes,
they haven't worked, so they haven't gotten any money from the government. They haven't even given the people like a letter where they could go to social service or, or unemployment.
Yes, ma'am.
To get something to even buy something to cook.
Of course.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because they won't give them the severance and free them to go and find another job.
Yes, ma'am.
They're holding them hostage, but they're not paying the people anything.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it's almost another month that's gone now. We're halfway through January.
Oh, yes.
And the people haven't gotten anything from the government since December, the end of December.
Yes, ma'am.
And the other thing I wanted to touch on with this adding of MPs now to represent different areas. We don't need to be adding more MPs in this country. In fact, we need to be cutting the numbers down.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
We don't need all of the MPs that we have.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I mean, for me, in reference to the bigger islands, we could cut down and have 8 or 10 MP per island, Nassau, Grand Bahama, and then you have your government workers who could go around to make sure things are being done.
Of course.
What needs to be done, and then just report back to the member of parliament for that area. We don't
Yes.
need all of these constituencies.
Yes, ma'am.
We just making paychecks for people
You certainly are.
and taking more money from the government purse, which is
That
the
is correct.
taxpayers' money.
Yes, yes.
I mean, they haven't been doing anything with the 39 that we have in there now.
That is
I
true.
don't see why we
And
more.
they're going up to 41. 39 plus
Right, they're
2 is
going to
41.
41, and nothing. And it ain't benefiting the people none, but it's
No, it
them
isn't.
getting a paycheck.
Oh, they're getting a paycheck, yes. And then you got some.
Yeah, and theirs on time. They getting their
Oh, they get their money
paychecks
on time, all the time. Yes, you're quite right about that. And these are
You
the
know,
things what.
so,
Yeah, go ahead.
and the Bahamian people must realize we need several voices in Parliament. We don't need one party with so many members.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to
You
expound on
know,
that today.
we need a diverse
Diversity,
group of people in that Parliament
diverse,
in order to hold
diverse people.
each
Yes,
other foot to the fire to get things done.
yes, ma'am. That is true.
And the
Diversity is
PRP is
important.
working at where they don't even want to have an opposition.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
want every seat. And then there's nobody to speak out against them.
Yes,
You know, have 10 from this group, 10 from another group, and then that's when you can see improvement in the country.
yes, ma'am.
Because you'll have people there to hold the other one's feet to the fire to make sure things are done.
Yes,
But we
ma'am.
can't be doing 35 seats for one group and 2 seats for the next group. That's not really a democracy.
Okay.
You need a diverse group of people with different voices standing up for different things, but all of it to benefit the country.
Yes, ma'am. This is.
Bahamian people have got to get away from this color thing and break these numbers up.
Yes, ma'am.
Unless we do that, we're not going to get no movement in the country.
Yes, ma'am.
These two parties have not been doing it. Each of them at some point had 30 something members,
Massive landslide.
Mhm.
and nothing is changing. They just go
Nothing.
side to side, side to
Yes,
side.
ma'am.
But if you put
Yes.
other people in there with different voices, independents to come in and be a part of the parliament, then we may see something different in the country.
No, you will.
But unless we do that, nothing is going to change.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hope Bahamians realize it's not about party, it's about
It's about
different
governance.
people coming in with different ideas
Yes, ma'am. The ideas are
and
very
making the
important.
government do what it's supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am. You're quite right
So
about that.
thank you, Professor.
Yeah, thank
Have
you.
a great weekend.
Well,
But
thank you. Thank you for your
we're
contribution.
suffering in Grand Bahama. We're suffering in Grand Bahama.
Well,
So
something
I
could be
don't know
done.
what all of the jumping up and the prime minister, he can make an announcement on Grand Bahama. He needs to make an announcement that he's gonna get something done with those people who work to Lucayan Beach.
Yes, ma'am.
It's unfair.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. We had two wonderful calls out of Grand Bahama. I have to expound on that, but I got to bring my special guest in at this point. Brother Hilo, welcome to Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is Open Line Friday, and we got some hot topics right now to discuss. I have to comment on those two calls that came in, but I'm going to let you get in on the conversation right now. Go ahead, Brother Hilo.
Yeah, we could get right back. It's all about the people expressing themselves. So,
That is correct.
good day, Bahamas. Good day, Professor.
Yes, sir.
And I yield to what the people are feeling.
Yes, they are.
Like you said, we have some very serious topics to discuss.
Yes, we do.
Even as the people are calling to express themselves,
Yes,
they need to know that someone is listening,
yes.
and they need to know that there's hope and a course of action that can be taken.
That can be taken.
You
yes,
can't
that
just
is
be
correct.
getting bad news, more and more
More
bad
and more.
news
It
every
is very depressing.
at every turn.
Yes.
But you have to still speak up. We wouldn't know
We wouldn't know unless
what is
you say it.
happening.
Yeah.
Going into Christmas, Prime Minister said, we're going to get them straight.
That's what the man said.
So we heard, we played it right here. He said, they're going to be straight. So other than that, Professor, when I say some serious topics, the the headlines and the paper says it all, Professor. I mean, this is a sad day in the Bahamas when you have the highest or very high-ranking officials implicated
Yes.
in law breaking.
Okay.
And the report came out that guilty charges came across
Okay.
for the former, or the ex-police association staff chairman
Yes, I heard about that on air.
was convicted, and then we'll get into that later.
Yes.
Two major cases
Okay.
in the Bahamas and then in New York,
Yes.
guilty charges. So I asked the question, Professor, why didn't we have international oversight?
Yes.
It was on the table and it was quickly taken off the table.
Okay.
Why? We were told that the National Crime Agency out of the United Kingdom
Yes, we were told that.
would come in and get involved.
But where's the involvement?
It didn't happen.
Never happened.
We were even given a day.
Yeah, we were.
We were told on this particular day, out of the United Kingdom, out of England, we would have international officials come in and assist with investigating our armed forces, our police force.
Right.
We were given a day, and that never happened.
That is correct.
What I do remember as we go to break, Professor, we were told that instead of the British counterparts, we were told that our American counterparts, we're talking about the CIA, possibly, we're talking about the FBI, possibly, but American intelligence would come and get involved in the Bahamas. Did that happen, Professor?
No.
Well,
not that I know of.
I rest my case. It didn't happen. Do we want justice?
I think the Bahamian people want justice.
Do our leaders want justice?
That's a different question.
Okay,
asked.
Professor. All right.
This is Professor Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson. The Bahamians, we have some very serious problems that have been afflicting the country for the last 53 years since we became an independent nation. Those problems have never been solved. That's why I asked the question about whether the government of the Bahamas has solved any major national problem. The answer is no. 53 years, approximately 52 and a half, almost 53, would have passed, and we are still confronted. The problems just have gotten worse and worse and worse over the last 53 years. We have to fix that, Bahamians. This is Professor Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
This is Lenny Green from The Quiet Storm, inviting you to join me tonight starting at 7 p.m. as I serve you that ear candy that you love, baby. I'm dropping all your favorite slow jams like this.
Sunlight's gone, but the moon's so bright. Oh, I'm about to cruise down my Holland Drive.
To hear this.
You show love.
So lock in with me. It's The Quiet Storm, baby. The Bahamas' #1 for R&B. It's Global 99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry. All at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pocket now.
This is it. Nassau, the final stretch and the big one. Shell is giving one lucky customer $5,000 in free fuel for all of 2026. That's right, no watching the pump and no second guessing fill up. Just fuel up faster and go. Spend $20 or more and submit your receipt to be eligible to win now through January 15th. The grand prize is here, so don't miss your chance to win with Shell. Terms and conditions apply.
Insurance is too expensive. I'm young and I don't need it. All insurances are the same. Let's bust these 3 common insurance myths. First, no, insurance doesn't have to break the bank. We offer plans that fit your budget. Second, accidents don't care how old you are. An accident can happen to anyone. Third, all policies are not equal. The wrong one can leave you high and dry when you need help the most. At Harvest Insurance, we give you real info, real options, and real peace of mind. Call us at 326-80845 or visit us at harvestinsurancebrokers.com and get the facts before you make a decision.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the luggage store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you
The
did.
Perfume Bar has been sipping on designer fragrances, skincare, and cosmetics for over 40 years. We house a wide selection of designer brands such as Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Versace, and so much more. For your shopping convenience, visit any of our locations: Bay Street, Palmdale, Marathon Mall, and our newest location out west in the Old Fort Town Center. Come on in and spray a little happiness. Only
to do that, we can have both sides of the staircase being utilized simultaneously.
weeks or whatever. Could you do some clarification on that? How these visas go?
Okay.
And I did say Happy New Year to you and
Yes,
Professor.
yes,
Yes, you
yes.
did.
Happy
Yeah.
New Year
Thank you
to
very much.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's only one type of visa that they are restricting in the US, but the US government is now saying that they are restricting immigrant visas. And that is different from the tourist visas. It's different from the student visas. So they were clear in that it's only the immigrant visas that they are restricting. For example, we have a lot of students in the US, so it wouldn't affect the students.
Yes.
And even new students that want to travel. But for those that want to work in the US, and for those, technically you would also be living, you would be working and living in the US. That is what they are restricting. So in the case where we have a lot of doctors and nurses, as you know, making plans for whatever reason, they are seeking to travel, with their families, and this could potentially even split families because some are already there now, and there are relatives, there are Bahamians that are seeking to follow other family members, but they will not be able to as of January the 21st. So this is almost immediate effect. So those would be like EB1, EB2, EB3, EB5. There's a whole series of types of visas that we are not going to be able to acquire. But the tourist visas, they are still in place, like the B2 visa. That's the one that we normally get, B1 and B2 visa. You can still get them. You can still travel to the US and do your shopping, tourism, go to Disney World and visit, any number of sites in the US. So you'll still be able to do that.
That's the ones that we get now. Like I have a visa now. You're talking about that visa, or is it going to be a change of? Because right now I have a valid visa. So is that going to still exist to use, or are you going to have to get this one that you were talking about, tourists?
No, what you have more than likely, if I'm not mistaken, it would be the tourist visa, the one that they give long term and put in your passports. They would still be valid.
Right.
Yeah, they would still be valid.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was wondering, if they were
that healthcare gonna have to be a major priority of taking care of those persons working in that field, because as you can see, we've been having a lot of our people drop down sick. We've been having a lot of our people complaining that they go into A&E and not getting the service. So we've got to now safeguard and protect what we have, because if we don't, we can basically become a dying nation, and then eventually we will become an extinct set of people. So
That's right.
As an ordinary citizen, I would advise our government now, when you're looking now at the healthcare of this nation right now, that has to be a major, major priority to protect those who's working in that field. Because if you have a shortage in the field here, as we can see, we've been now recruiting people from Africa. And the difference is what we don't realize is that we are not a first world nation. We don't have, so what we have to do is we have to protect our nurses and doctors. It might feel hard, but we have to spend a little bit more to keep them here, because they're going to go when they don't finish their education to the highest bidder. And so the government of the government, especially the Ministry of Health, has to champion that, not only in Parliament, but amongst his colleagues, and say, listen, we can't afford to lose any more of our young doctors, our young nurses, other providers in our service.
Right.
And so we got to do our best to keep it. Yes. And if you get someone, and if you can see that the U.S. gonna do, and this is one thing with Americans, they would tell you, they would offer you everything but the moon, and they say, hey, you got family? Then they basically working on you bringing your family. So now you're losing other areas where you now could have basically dip into. So I would advise the Ministry of Health and I forget the new name of the
health and wellness.
To now make certain areas a priority to uplift the growth of our nation. Because if you don't have someone to take care of the Bahamian people when they're sick, you ain't gonna have nobody here in the future. And that's how you have to look at it.
That's why so much people are dying.
Yes. Lack of proper health care. And we have shortages.
Yes.
While we on that note, let me just say right now, let me get straight to this. We had a certain gentleman, I believe it's Mr. Marvin is a Johnson, one of the Patriots.
Johnson,
Just as a brief statement, we have a patient of dialysis that was saying to us, this is very short. In the private sector, very few deaths in the dialysis unit, and in the public sector, an unacceptable amount, almost 10 last year, dying when their counterparts are not. That's how serious it is.
I just wanted to get that. Okay, fine. Caller, thank you very much.
Yes, I know you soon go on a break, but Professor, I just want to say one thing before I hang up. The Prime Minister has announced that he's going to drop the VAT to zero, but we start this year, this month. Why is he putting it down to April Fool's Day?
That's a good question. You'll have to find out from him then. But thank you for your contribution. This is Professor Sidney McCarter, Walter Thompson. My producer is being very patient with me. He's been playing the music, so I got to get out of his way. This is Professor Sidney McCarter, Walter Thompson. We have Brother Cartwright and Brother Hiley here today. That's good. This is Open Line Friday. The lines are open 326-0272, 813-0271. We will be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Lamb, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the Luggage Store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you
The
did.
Perfume Bar has been sipping on designer fragrances, skincare, and cosmetics for over 40 years.
We house a wide selection of designer brands such as Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Versace, and so much more. For your shopping convenience, visit any of our locations: Bay Street, Palmdale, Marathon Mall, and our newest location out west in the Old Fort Town Center. Come on in and spray a little happiness only at the Perfume.
Hey, Shoe Depot has what you and your wallet need. They are stuffed with stylish and exciting footwear, handbags, wallets, and accessories for all occasions. Shoes for the professional, casual, cute and glitzy, skid resistant, and ultra comfortable for those long work days. Shoe Depot has got you. Oh, and be sure to join our Shoe Depot Rewards Club for extra savings and earn points for special benefits. Visit either of our 2 locations, Golden Gate Plaza or the Palmdale Plaza. At Shoe Depot, you'll find the best selection of the best styles and at the best prices.
Nassau Motor Company knows that finding the right part for your car is important. That's why you can count on us to give you a quality AC Delco part, like maintenance-free batteries for quicker starts and pressure-tested water pumps for years of smooth operation. AC Delco parts are made to strict GM specifications and fit most cars and trucks in the Bahamas. Nassau Motor Company, AC Delco, and you, a winning combination.
Hey, look at my old friend.
Hey, you ever checked out Balfour Consumer Meat Mart on Balfour Ave and Charles Vincent Street?
No, what's so special about it?
Man, everything is fresh. I got all meat you get at some of those other stores. They have 5 different meat packages for every budget, even a 7-day Adventist package.
No, man, you say Balfour Consumer Meat Mart.
Yeah, man. Plus, fresh produce, great prices, and even items you wouldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah, man, that sounded like my type of place. Sound like Balfour Consumer Meat Mart really doing their thing.
Listen, they are clean, organized, and not staffed. Super friendly. You could even WhatsApp your order to 544-1515 or call 326-4702. And they offer free shipping to the Family Islands.
Now that's what I talking about. I have to go check them out today.
Freshness, value, and service. All waiting for you at Balfour Consumer Meat Mart.
Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center has launched an online auction website. Now you can browse, cast your bid, and win amazing items like some of these winners.
I just won this blender for $55 on BahamasLiquidation.com. I won this suitcase set for $100 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
And now it's your turn. Simply grab your laptop or smart device and log on to BahamasLiquidation.com. Once you reach the main webpage, click on the My Account option where you can go to register. After filling in the necessary information, hit register and you're good to go. Happy bidding! Please have your credit card on hand, as the winning bidder is responsible to pay for the winning items within 30 minutes of the auction closing. The winner must collect the items in store within 24 hours after the auction is closed. Please note that a 3.5% service charge will be added to your winning bid amount at checkout.
I won this HP laptop for $120 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
I won this magic bullet for only $35 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
Bahamas Liquidation Auction Center,
where you say hello to goodbye.
From Cable Beach to Montague, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is a great day to be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Bahamas, we have some very serious health problems in our country. And the caller did refer to the many deaths that are occurring. It has been disturbing to me as well. We're losing too many of the male population in the country from death, murders, from accidents, and from a lot of other things that have been happening. Plus, you have those who are being stabbed or shot, and they're suffering. Mr. Producer, we have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please. Caller, you ready? Go ahead. Please.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, caller. You on.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you on now, caller. Go ahead. Caller, you can go ahead, please. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Mr. Bruce is not hearing me. I don't know.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Speak up.
I can hear you now.
Okay, you can go ahead. You're live on there.
Yes, with this, with this, people be discussing who's going to win this constituency and, in the process of candidacy, right? But, it's time for me personally, right, to go to the United Nations, right, to their civil rights grievances facility, right, and complain about the lack of equality in votes, and the parity in the votes in the Bahamas, and about the what you call it, the IRCA, because what happened is IRCA is supposed to be regulating the media for one, right? Because I can't get no like the media's falling down. They're not the what you call it, the voter party is not an issue for them. And what the other day, yesterday, what's his name? The deputy prime minister. He talked about what you call it, the commission, the constituency commission, right? They said that for them to have party, they need 60 seats, right? 60 seats for be party to have party, because if you get only 200 voters, they can only get 200 voters in on the islands. When you put them together, and Nassau, averages like Nassau, Abaco, and Grand Bahamas, like they could do it like 4,000. You understand me? So what's going on there is that they refuse to do it. You understand me? The excuse they use is that we can't afford to have 60 MPs. How many teachers? How many MPs make about 35,000, 40,000?
Yep.
Yeah. So how many people the government's paid 30,000 to? About 35,000 to? How many teachers? How many nurses? You understand me? How many custom officers? Some policemen. You know what I mean? Government don't take the same kind of money for 30 extra, and then would you do the 30 seats, and and then what happened? They don't need to be cabinet ministers. You understand me? They they could be backbenchers. You understand me? And that's where representation for the people in the ghetto and Nassau and things, that's where they get the representation from. You understand what I'm saying? If the government say if they are MP in the inner city, in these inner city communities in the cabinet, they can't vote against VAT. If the government says, well, we're going to bring VAT, right? They increase VAT. They can't vote against that. Whatever the government decides to do, they got to go for it. And it's not in their interest, in the constituents' interest. You understand me? They can't get health care. All they get is with primary health care. No rooms in the hospital, no beds in the hospital. Your guests just talk about your co-host just talk about the dialysis department. You understand me? Then you got education. Come on, man. That's, these are poor people issues. And then you get housing. You get international bodies telling you that housing is a problem in the Bahamas. You got every day you got the nurses striking, the junior doctors striking, the teachers striking. They striking for more money because they can't make it. You understand me? They can't afford housing for themselves. But everybody wants to ride the poor people. All the political operatives, all they want to do is ride the poor people. I blame them. You know what I'm saying? The government needs to do their job. You understand me? The government has to do their job. You see, that's what majority rule is about. It's about the vote. It ain't about the lousy MP. You need to be lousy if you want. We need equality, equity in our votes, bro.
But call up. The thing is, if you understand the constitution of this country, the particular personality who is voted in a particular constituency ought to be representing the views of those particular constituents in that particular constituency. That does not happen in this country. Now that's a problem we have to fix.
But that can't happen if all them in the cabinet or appointed by the cabinet. That's not happen.
Caller, what I'm saying, yes, you have a valid point, what you just mentioned. The thing is that if you look at the record from 1968, the political party that happens to become the government of the day has been getting a massive landslide of seats in every single election.
But you realize they haven't been getting a massive landslide of voters, right? The popular vote.
No,
they could win.
But hold on, caller. Just hold on. Just listen to what I'm saying. You have people on the register who are eligible to vote, and if they don't vote, they don't participate in the parliamentary process. That's a problem. That's a major problem. Because you have the very same people constantly complaining about the particular situation in the country, but they're not contributing to finding a solution.
The solution I have, see, the issue I have, I don't care about I'm concerned about my vote. Okay, if you have a constituency in where the prime minister, you get 1,200 voters. I checked the last election, you had 1,200 eligible voters, and my constituency have 4,000. That's almost 4 to 1. Mm-hmm. You see, in other words, 4 to 1. That's not democracy. That's what, you know, understand me. When the commissioner, the boundaries commissioner tell them they need 60 seats for parity, they refuse to do that. Only one other hope.
So in other words, you feel that there should be more seats in the House of Assembly. Is that
that's it? The Constitution show you that. The Constitution show you that it should be parity. It should be parity, no less than now. You could make more. You could put. Okay, and we be crying for local government, right? Local government. You don't need it. If you want, you could have less. You could have the minimum according to the Constitution. But the tenets, the foundation of democracy is equality. Is one man, one vote. You understand me? One man, one vote. People come with all type of excuses like I'll make a contribution, right? And when I hang up, the what you call it, the host and the co-host do, they'll debate me when I can't rebut them. They'll hang up. When I don't hang up, then they come in these off the wall things like, oh, well, you gotta count the children. No, the children don't vote. And then constituency in the family and children they have more children than the constituencies in Nassau. So that's, you know what I mean? Look, friends, watch it now. Andros, right? South Andros got one high school. You realize the high school have a gymnasium? All right. How many high schools and I'm listening? One. Their gymnasium burned down and they never built it back. How many high schools? Do you have high schools in these constituencies with no gyms? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Come on now. So just that alone. And then the people on the farm are saying, oh, they need all of them need ministers, MPs. They ain't got enough votes to be equal to the constituencies. Now they need MPs. Come on, like they say they ain't got a voice. All they got is all they have is what you call it, a project for things going on for them. I talking about gymnasiums, airports, docks, you know what I mean, public docks, roads. They getting everything done. Portable water, what you call it, cable, telephone.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, caller.
Right.
But caller, before you go, let me ask you a question. How many people you think should make up a constituency, in your opinion?
It should make up a constituency.
Yeah.
It need to be balanced. Okay, say if you go 4,000, right?
Yeah.
4,000 would bring us 60 MPs, right? That means the Family Islands, they'll have a couple of them will be able to make up 2,000. Yeah. I mean 2,000, right? And then the constituency in Nassau will be 2,000. So you'll have more seats in Nassau, you see?
Yeah, but here's the thing, caller. What no one pays attention to, right? To get that kind of layout means that you're going to have people move to certain islands. Because like Ragged Island, probably 90 to 100 people total.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, my
To make
God,
up a
right?
constituency, what I'm saying to you, you would have to have people move from the island of New Providence to bring up to get that kind of parity per se, where you have roughly about 3,000 to 4,000 actual voters in a constituency on a regular basis. Because election is every 5 years.
From time immemorial, right?
Yes.
Remember they had Bemini and Rumkey, right? Or Bemini and with the Berry Islands, right? Then they put Bemini with Grand Bahama, right? You understand what I'm saying? DC, you got to put them together. You got to put like how Mike Hylas. You got to put them together. You could put them together and get 4,000, but the excuse they're using now, that's too much for one MP. The MP ain't the job of the MP to go visit no island.
No, but here's the thing.
His job is to go and legislate, to bring legislation.
But
you understand me?
Yeah, but when you're doing legislation, your legislation should come from basically ideologies from amongst your people. Because if my parliament is bringing legislation and it doesn't line up with my constitution, nor with me as an ordinary citizen input and views, then that legislation to me is foreign. And so you have to basically intertwine both. But the thing is, I always tell people this, it is the parliament, We always look at the governments. I always tell people this. Parliament on the whole.
Let me answer you with that. Let me answer that. Okay, let me answer that. Every constituency.
Put the call on hold, please. Put the call on hold. I do not intend to go any further with him because he's wasting a lot of time. He's talking about. So you got to listen carefully to what the man is saying. He is concerned about the fact that in the Prime Minister's constituency they got 1,200. His constituency got 4,000. So what he's saying is there should be more seats in his particular constituency. Since they got 1,200, well, he got 4,000, but he should have more seats.
But Professor,
hold on.
It can't work that way.
No, but that's what he is saying. What he's talking about, what he is labeling as voter parity, whatever that's supposed to mean. Okay? But the thing is, we have to look at this, and this is where there has to be discussion. I don't know whether we have any specific, as far as I know in the Constitution, any specific number for a particular constituency.
No.
But it speaks of voter parity. But the point is that he is concerned about the fact that fellow over there, he got 1,200. I got 4,000, 5,000, my constituency. I got one seat, and they got one seat. And he's saying when you look at it, he should have more seats in his particular constituency because of the number of voters he has in that particular constituency, not the fact that you're looking at it and saying there should be more people moving into that particular area. He doesn't see it that way.
And that's where you run into a problem because
you will run into all kinds of problems.
Because if you now see right now from what the Boundaries Commission just did, people say, oh, they said the Boundaries Commission. I mean, remember I told you all from last year when we were looking at the map outside the
yeah, you did.
And I point to the area, I said it's gonna cut and basically create one more constituency.
Yes.
And I said that was gonna happen in the city and probably move another one back to. So basically what I try to tell people is this. When you look at it, everyone is saying, oh, well, this we need. I said, if it's a collective, you don't voice your opinion when you have these, so we have all these constituencies. Right now we have 41. And I would guarantee you that out of the 41 constituencies, whenever they decide to have constituency meetings, very few people in those communities go to those constituency meetings and voice their opinions so they can be heard and then put forward in Parliament. If you listen to the parliamentarians when they speak, they always say, I rise off on the good people of these constituencies. And you ask the people in those constituencies, did you see it? I've not seen my representative since the last election. Yeah. So how are you representing me? And if I don't go out and voice my opinion, then we have a conundrum right there.
That is a problem. I agree with you, Brother Cartwright. And there's another problem. But those who sit back and do not participate in the parliamentary process, okay, those individuals, you cannot count them because they are not a part of the process for the express purpose of choosing a representative for that particular constituency. This is the problem that we have. And while I can appreciate the concerns of the caller, I can't give him too much time because, we have to have time to do some other thing. But the point is, I understand clearly what he's saying. That he's saying, as it is now, in his particular instance, he got 4,000 or so. The prime minister constituency only got 1,200, but they got a 1 seat and I got 1 seat. So he's saying his vote as a constituent is less than what they got in the prime minister constituency.
Professor, I hear all of the points. Professor, my concern, as I listen to the other concerns, look at how we caught up into the movement of lines and people and parliamentarians and the colors. This is what our concern is.
Yeah.
And I know because this is what we're speaking about. That's how I know what our concern is. Where's our concern that we are becoming poorer as a nation in our quality of life? When is that conversation going to become stronger? When are we going to look for the people who's going to change our quality of life? Because it hasn't been happening. If you look at the different sectors, financially, and I've been saying this every week for the last few weeks, if you could have a financial leader say that the country is going backwards, this is a financial leader say we're going backwards. If you could hear a healthcare leader say, why are we building that new hospital? Didn't we have a plan to put a wing for, because you're looking at maternity primarily for the new hospital.
We're understanding this, and the Prime Minister mentioned about two new hospitals.
2 new hospitals.
See, the thing is this.
What about the quality of care? You don't need 2 new hospitals to improve the care.
No, you don't.
No.
Because
you need hospitals. I'm not saying that.
No, but
where's the conversation on the quality?
But he's saying
Mhm.
one in New Providence,
Yeah.
one in Grand Bahama, and
Right.
we understand that this one was supposed to be going up on New Providence.
Which one can I not die in if I go there? That's what the public want to know.
Yeah, you die in anyone.
Because there's a fair, mind you, it's supposed to be in God's hands, It's supposed to be in God's hands. Our time's supposed to be in God's hands. But are we sure there's not negligence? We just had the Adderley family. Nobody on the ward even know the young woman passed away. And she's sitting in the hallway somewhere on a gurney. If that's where she was. I don't know where she was. So let me be careful how I say that. But the point being, a child can go to the hospital to visit their relative and see dry tears on their face and their eyes roll back and they are cold on the table, died.
Yeah.
That's what a child could experience, going to visit their mother or auntie, and nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Yeah. I'll say this, Brother Hylo. What has happened to the growth and development of this nation has been moved by people just looking for a job.
Yes.
What I mean by that is that a fellow or a young person will go to whoever is their particular representative and say, man, I can vote for you, but you got to get me a job.
Right.
And so what they do, instead of looking at the individual and saying, if I make provision for this person to get this job, will this person work?
Right.
Majority of the people, when you look now in our healthcare, people just want a job.
Right.
If you hear the word on the street, and
Right.
Professor, you've been around young enough to know that every hear them talk, I only want a government job.
I'm quite very.
And so
yeah.
when they get the job, and I said to me, now you must work. And they say, well, oh, I got the job. I ain't got to work.
Then afterwards.
Yeah. And so this is where
That's the problem.
they have to now seriously look and now train. It's like I was telling someone the other day, I said, you can teach people skills, but if you don't teach people how to manage money, then we run into problems.
Yeah, we will run into.
And that's one of the biggest downfall in this country is that we try to imitate other countries around the world and how they address with things. But the problem is we gotta always remember that we are unique. We are not one landmass. We are a group of islands stretched from off the tip of Cuba, off the coast of Florida. So you have to now come with ideas, like you said, Brother Hyla, with a plan to how we can now provide better service. Like, for instance, I always tell people, I said, people cry, but they ain't no space. I said, well, the government owned the land up there by Princess Margaret.
Right.
They can acquire it and do whatever they want with the land.
Space it there.
Yes.
And for the life of me, I always believe that healthcare providing service in any area should be an ongoing thing year round.
Are you all saying that? You know, just came into my mind. Professor, I don't know if you heard this. I just saw a quick news story, I think yesterday, right? They had a bomb scare at one of the local clinics, Oak Tree Medical. I say to myself, now the devil is a liar. Could it be? You know, and no one is paying me to say this. They may advertise with us after this, right? But Oak Tree, it appears to be, its founder and leader seems to be very advanced in terms of, yes, providing services as a doctor. But here's what I know. We'll talk about it later. I just wanted to insert this one thought. Here's a young doctor that's growing from strength to strength, saying we can have our own ambulances to overcome that problem, right? We can have our own testing to overcome that problem, you know, certain basic testing, certain imaging, which is very important, Professor, before the doctor can go any further to, you know, analyze, get a scan, whatnot. And, you know, and I was following that particular story and that particular institution. And yesterday when I heard the story, I said, no, hold on now. Could it be jealousy? Could it be, I say, you know what? Something good is happening over there and somebody trying to stop it, whatever the case is. Because, I sorry to say this, you know, people get offended, you know, I can't help that, right? You could have a pain in your whatever, in your body, and you don't know exactly what that is, and the clock is ticking. You could be in extreme pain. If you don't get to the root of finding out what that is, that could be your life.
That's right.
It could happen to any of us, any given day. So thank God for life, thank God for health and strength. But it could happen to any one of us. So are we saying that if things move too slow in the public hospital now, if things move too slow, your life is at risk? If things don't happen fast enough, detecting what the issue is, what the problem is, what if you don't have the money?
Yes.
That's another thing.
We are understanding that the dialysis patients at the Princess Margaret Hospital are now being asked to pay where they weren't asked to pay before.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, right. And if you don't have enough money, what are we saying?
Overall, better we like to admit it, and Bahamians don't like to admit things when only when it happens to them, then they basically come out. But I, as someone who had both parents were in hospital, both of them deceased now, and I've seen others. And I always tell people that when you think about it, listen to those in that profession and hear their cries. When you visit your relatives when they're laid up in the public hospital and you see the conditions and you ask, well, why? You watch the staff and they work, how they basically go about nonchalant. And it's like, this is healthcare. So you have in healthcare, you have people moving around when they nonchalant or isn't happy. The people who are going to suffer, those who are in their care.
That's serious. Yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah.
And so, as an administration, and this is why I tell people that the parliament as a whole, put aside your colors. Look at these things, that how are we going to grow our country? How are we going to make our country healthy? Like I see now, the government, the administration is saying we have no more VAT on food. And I was like, okay, what about trying to basically come up with a plan to get us to go back to growing and feeding our nations like we did in the past?
Yes, we did that.
We could cut down on a lot of imported stuff. Why are we taking in stuff into our country that is marked for export only?
Export only, yeah.
Why is it that those same produce It's not being.
But the Conrad, I have to stop you because the right producer is being very patient with me.
Yeah.
This is Professor Sidney McArdle, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. We're going to go to a break. The lines are open 326-0272, 813-0271. This is Professor Sidney McArdle, Walter Thompson on Open Line Friday. We'll be back after the break.
Express yourself live. We'll return right after this.
Wake up every weekday on 99.5 FM.
This is Steve Harvey, your main man.
With the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
I don't know who wants dead butt meat injected into their body. They dead. Now like you down there, you at the butcher store and it's in the glass counter. Let me get a pound and a half of that meat there. Let me put that on the scale. Let me see. Now take a little bit of that off. That's too much. Yeah. No, I'll tell you. Well, go and make it 2 pounds. Yeah.
Weekday morning from 6 to 10.
Let's go.
Over here on
99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry, all at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pockets now.
Cupid, let your arrow go straight to your loved one's heart with a Valentine's Day treat from Windermere Day Spa. As limited slots are available, book now for Cupid's Arrow at just $173. An enzyme facial, manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Or just $152, there's the Hugs and Kisses package, a 30-minute stress relief massage, gel manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Or at just $345, both of you come and experience a soulmate soiree. A couple's aromatherapy massage, manicure, and whirlpool pedicure. Gift certificates are available. Or call Harbor Bay at 393-8788 or Caves Village at 327-6135 or 6. It's the exciting Valentine's Day special at Windermere Day Spa. Call now.
This is it. Nassau, the final stretch and the big one. Shell is giving one lucky customer $5,000 in free fuel for all of 2026. That's right, no watching the pump and no second guessing fill up. Just fuel up faster and go. Spend $20 or more and submit your receipt to be eligible to win now through January 15th. The grand prize is here, so don't miss your chance to win with Shell. Terms and conditions apply.
Bahamian feel-good food in the right atmosphere. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever you choose. It's the Cricket Club Restaurant at Haynes Point, West Bay Street. The food is off the chain. Bahamian breakfast. We talking stew cow, stew fish, and sheeptown sauce. And for lunch, crab soup, okra soup, and pea soup and dumpling. Man! And for dinner, they got mahi seafood platter or steak and shrimp. Only $28.95 per person. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Cricket Club Restaurant. Call 326-4720 for reservations. Oh, and don't forget,
karaoke on Thursdays.
And there's a live band, The Magic Touch, every Friday night. See you.
Insurance is too expensive. I'm young and I don't need it. All insurances are the same. Let's bust these 3 common insurance myths. First, no, insurance doesn't have to break the bank. We offer plans that fit your budget. Second, accidents don't care how old you are. An accident can happen to anyone. Third, all policies are not equal. The wrong one can leave you high and dry when you need help the most. At Harvest Insurance, we give you real info, real options, and real peace of mind. Call us at 326-808-405 or visit us at harvestinsurancebrokers.com and get the facts before you make a decision.
The Perfume Bar has been sipping on designer fragrances, skincare, and cosmetics for over 40 years. We house a wide selection of designer brands such as Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Versace, and so much more. For your shopping convenience, visit any of our locations: Bay Street, Palmdale, Marathon Mall,
and our newest location out west in the Old Fort Town Center. Come on in and spray a little happiness only at the Perfume Box.
From East Street to Blue Hill Road, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Yeah, let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Bahamians, we're living in exciting times. We have problems with health. We have problems with our roads. We have problems with airports and all sorts of other things are happening. And these are long-standing problems. We never seem to be able to get any one particular problem solved. I think we have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Mr. Hyler, Mr. Cartwright.
Hey, good afternoon.
Fellow Bahamians.
Yes.
And Mr. Wisdom, too. Oh, I met Mr. Wisdom the other night at a meeting.
Okay.
And we had a chance to engage. Well, we were sitting at this round table, and a lady said that she did tours. So just for conversation's sake, we asked her, well, what kind of tours are these? And she described the tours. Like, I think it's about an hour. They take them from point A to point B. At point B, do you know where they end the tour with? A Haitian display. Do you believe that?
Where these stores are held? On the Providence?
Well, this is right the other day. In New Providence. Nassau, that's right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and they end with a Haitian something, Creole food and all that kind of stuff. So I said to her, well, if you're doing, and it's called a Bahamian tour. I said, if you're doing, if a tourist comes to the Bahamas to do a Bahamian tour, where does Haitian comes into it, right?
Yes.
And a simple question I ask. I say, if you want to do a Bahamian tour, do a Bahamian tour. If you want to do a Haitian tour, do a Haitian tour. You know, we have enough to we could do a Chinese tour if you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
But when I asked the question, a lady said, you know, that kind of stuff. I just thought you would be running a little better.
Yeah, we would.
Definitely.
But I didn't want to hold you up on that. What I actually called you to tell you, I heard a show the other day. A lady called in, a very intelligent, you know, one of our Bahamian serious females, like the lady who called in from Grand Bahama.
Yeah.
This lady made a statement. She said, and that's what I wanted to speak to what Mr. Cartwright was talking about just now. She said, when you go to the hospital, you know, always say this. We are overburdened by Haitians in all of our using up all our resources before us.
That is true.
Because their numbers are just equal to ours, which is unfair, but it's almost exceeding. And I can't blame them. The people who want health, they got health care, they got to go. They want education, they got to go to school. But these things should be regulated so that Bahamian people can be healthy and we can be educated. Now, this show is with Dr. Sands. And the lady called in, she said, everywhere you go, they outnumbering us. Dr. Sands, I don't know what came over this gentleman, that he had the statistics on every visit of everybody who comes to the Princess Margaret. And this man started reading out that on Monday, there were 200 patients seen. 150 Bahamians, 50 Haitians. Tuesday, there were 175. 100 and something Bahamians and 30 Haitians. And he kept calling it off to show that, no, we are serving more Bahamians than Haitians. Now, am I stupid or crazy or something that we don't even know what a Bahamian or Haitian is these days? And if they sign into the hospital, what are they going to sign under if they have one of these fraudulent passports?
Well,
they are Bahamians.
Yes.
Caller, I would say this to you. Dr. Sound like he politicking.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
You got to protect that vote now. You can't
Because
just-
they all think
the
that the
sad
Haitian
part
is the
about that.
majority vote these
Yeah,
days.
but here's the sad part about that, but I don't think Dr. Sands, for someone who, in his capacity in the political arena, understand, those people can't help you. And those people, if they could, their allegiance is not to you.
Thank you.
So you are wasting your time trying to sugarcoat and say, well, we serve X amount, because we have seen many who have been into the public sphere, and just to go, even at the clinics, if you start outside and you watch the personnel what goes in
Thank you.
and come out,
Common
and if you
sense.
look at some of the staff, listen to some of the staff, they are speaking a language that is not English. So
thank you.
Dr. Sands, I don't know what he is drinking. I don't know what he's eating. But if you're trying to placate the people them to say, hey, listen, I got your back, my brother, ain't nothing happening.
Thank you.
And if you believe they can vote for you, then go right ahead, and then you get your just reward in the end.
Well, caller, I only have one thing to add. Highly here and Happy New Year.
Yeah, to you too.
Caller, if the number, I saw those numbers, and I believe it's right around 40% of the foreigner, and we're talking about one nationality, right?
Absolutely.
So if you have 40% identifiable, you don't think it's reasonable that maybe at least there's another 10% that's not identifiable
Oi.
by accent or by name, because there's a tremendous amount of name change.
Go by looks.
Okay, so one other thing to add. Who in the Bahamas thinks it's okay that on this particular day in 2026, 50-50 is okay in our society?
Thank you.
And we are only at the beginning of what I would describe as an avalanche.
Thank you, sir.
This is only the beginning. We're starting out in the neighborhood of 40-50. This is just the beginning. America said in February they are ending the temporary protective status. February 2026. No more protective status. Canada
And
is
most countries are denying nations.
okay. Canada is reporting that their requests have gone through the roof, where they would have 20, 30, 40, 600 is the numbers they're facing in terms of like a course of a month or so. Just watch it. I'm not fear mongering.
No,
I'm not hating. I'm saying this is not the way that this should be done. And our leaders are not paying any attention. Did you see that we went from 2,000 deportations to about 400 last year? Did you see that, caller?
No, I didn't see that.
400.
I wouldn't deny it.
400, caller.
And a lot of people are saying also the statement you made yesterday, I think it was that in regards to this visa.
Yeah.
And don't worry about that. It means that you could still go and shop at Walmart.
Yes,
Just be back in a week or two, right?
that's it. That's correct.
But you can't come and live among us anymore. That is a big insult.
That's a big shift. That's a big shift in policy.
Thank you very much.
We do not. And why? We're not trying to point fingers at one nationality. Now that would be unfair. But our open borders, or let me say, our apparent disregard for our own sovereignty.
Thank you.
If we don't care,
who
comes into the country, then why should America continue to afford us the privileges they gave us on who we were originally?
Thank you.
So, caller, we understand your concern.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
No, but that is a good point that the caller brought up.
Yeah.
And the fact is that we have people in this country having documentation purporting to be Bahamian, changing their names, right? And then appearing and purporting to be Bahamian.
I hear you.
That is not the way it's supposed to be.
No, not
that
at all.
is an unconstitutional act.
And we just dodged another bullet, Professor. Remember now, in the smuggling of migrants bill, we also had a clause in there before the pushback and the outcry that stated we are not going to prosecute persons found with fraudulent documents. That is a clause that was almost written into Bahamian law. We're not going to prosecute you if you have fraudulent documents or if you overstayed your time.
Well,
Go ahead, Professor.
that is contrary to our Constitution.
Definitely.
I'll call you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good day.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hyler.
Hey, good day.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cartwright.
Hey, Governor.
Yes, sir. Listen, man. Remember that I called last week, and I mean, in reference to when, oh Lord, I ain't even calling this, but the Prime Minister made his address, and he was addressing what Bahamians could do, and they're doing this for the Bahamians.
Yes.
My thing is, again, I'm saying it again, they should exclude these people, Bahamians, and let's see if that would have come about.
Okay.
And then right now, we doing the same thing with Dr. Sands when he said Bahamians.
Yeah.
They're not, if they really was to say the real Bahamians, the grassroots Bahamians, not them funny speaking said who they just gave citizenship to. Not them said. The real Bahamians, the grassroots Bahamians, the ones who born from Abaco in the north to Anago in the south.
Yes.
Take a record of that, and let me see what kind of numbers you get then. Who going into PMH, and who getting all these other services from our services that should be only for Bahamians, real grassroots Bahamians. Give me the numbers on those. Not them funny speaking said. Not the ones who you just give papers to. Not them. The real grassroots Bahamians. That's my contribution for the day.
You know,
thank you, caller.
You know,
thank you very much,
Professor.
Yeah, go ahead,
you didn't weigh in on that because my mind, Professor, my mind is going somewhere else on this. Right? We're talking about them, Professor. Let me talk about us in terms of Bahamians, or we want to say, okay, allow me to shift to the same issue we raised concerning our uniform branches, the police officers, the defense force, the BDOCs, the Department of Corrections, immigration. Professor, the court case. On this show, we warned Bahamians that not only were these officers on trial, but the Bahamian public was also on trial.
Of course.
Whether here in the Bahamas or in New York, the Southern District of New York. Professor, you know how serious it is that I feel badly. Some would say don't feel bad for them. I feel badly. You have an ex-police association chairman convicted of smuggling $1.4 million of cocaine and marijuana.
Yes.
The report is coming out that the gentleman was found guilty, and Magistrate Seville said the matter was not a usual case and one that he would not soon forget. 2 months trials, and the gentleman's family was visibly distraught, and an uproar came about in the courthouse steps as the gentleman was taken to the Department of Correctional Services, and he was allowed brief moments with his family. Professor, what I'm saying is we were told, and I have to repeat this, we were told that the forces would be investigated.
Yes, we were told that.
Okay? Now, we have a Minister of Foreign Affairs today that before he got into the seat of power, he is on record as saying the police force cannot investigate itself. Don't we have the record card, right? Mm-hmm. Now that he is in the seat, he backpedaled and said the opposite. Two things cannot be true at the same time.
So that is the Minister of Foreign Affairs or the Minister for Defense?
Mr. for National Affairs. I'm talking about
National Affairs.
Yeah, I'm talking. You know.
No, I thought I heard you say.
Yeah, I was trying to get beyond the personality, but the point.
No.
Yeah.
No, we have to identify who the personality is in the cases like this.
Professor, Brother Wayne Monroe said, "You cannot have a police force investigating itself.
Yeah, he did say
Before
that.
he
When
came,
was opposition.
when he was in opposition.
Yeah, that is correct.
Now he's gone on record and saying he sees no problem.
Yes.
With the police force investigating itself.
Well, that's a big contradiction right there.
Okay, now we also have a former police chief report that we're going to have United Kingdom officers come and assist in investigating our police force. We have that record.
Yes.
That did not happen.
That did not happen.
I heard a speech saying that, you're always going to have a few bad apples. I heard a speech
Well, we
saying,
keep hearing that all the time about a few bad apples.
Professor, we heard that there would be a thorough investigation and let the chips fall where they may.
But that's not happening.
Next thing we know, we hear no more from. We saw
nothing.
Basically a resignation.
Yes, we saw the resignation.
We saw
Yeah,
resignation.
I agree with that.
So what I'm saying is this right here is impacting this nation.
It is a fact.
More than any Haitian or Chinese or any nationality.
That
If
is
we Junkanoo, who are we? Professor, we don't know who we are.
No, we don't know.
Who are we? So, Cara, I don't know if you want to comment on that, but what I'm saying, this is so damaging to the Bahamas.
Very damaging.
And up in New York, the whole world is watching this. The whole world is watching us.
I'm reading this stuff because I happen to know the young man. But what I'm looking at was that he was along with others convicted. And I'm now looking at that the persons who brought the drugs into the country, now he might have facilitated them landing.
You're talking about the gentleman from Crooked Island?
Sonny Miller.
Auckland,
yeah.
Okay,
Sonny Miller,
Auckland.
former chairman of the police association.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's to do with this. Yeah,
he was an ASP.
ASP, yeah, okay.
The two Colombians that was charged with him pleaded guilty, took a plea deal. And they received 60 months in prison in 2023.
How much is that? How much time is that? 5 years?
5 years.
5 years.
You're playing games, man.
And so I'd be like, okay.
5 years for
You
all
look
that
at
stuff?
it, and so I'm saying to myself,
What kind of crap is that?
Seriously.
you got to deal with these guys.
for crying out loud.
5 years, and now you looking to throw the book at him. And I always say that if the law is supposed to be handed up fairly, give everybody the same penalty. Because I don't believe in nobody should be bringing in illicit drugs and contraband.
But look at
drugs.
the volume
I
of
agree.
drugs that were brought in.
I agree.
Yeah, and so
Jesus.
I'm saying to them, I was like, listen, man,
Be fair.
be fair. Yes, I know you all going to throw the book at him because there's rank, but you allow people to come in and see. You was saying with the smugglers, trafficking, thing. But here's the fall on that no one paid attention to. The government was saying, okay, we want to keep these people here for trial to testify against those perpetrators. And I always ask the question, if you're going to keep them here, that means basically giving them a backdoor asylum.
Yeah.
So that's part of still inside that bill.
That's right.
So
So it's
it's
still
like-
there.
it's still there.
It's still there. Ain't
And it
gone
says,
nowhere.
and it says our minister now would deliver those persons over to an appropriate authority, which is not our government.
On you charging them on in international waters.
Yeah.
Then we need to now bring this thing to complete.
Right.
Be straight up to the Bahamian public with it.
You
And
certainly
stop,
should be.
yeah.
Well,
Stop dilly dally.
Straight up and something that's been
let it
happening.
go. Yeah. Or let it go.
We ain't getting straight up, Professor.
No.
We're not
No, we're
getting
not.
openness
No.
and transparency,
None.
and we're not getting honesty. We're getting a lot of dilly dallying, and it's not working out for the Bahamian people. So for those that are listening, we're about to wrap up. We have Save the Bays is coming on following this show from 4 to 5 with the host Joe Darwell and his co-host Javan Hunt. So Save the Bays is following this broadcast. Express yourself immediately following this show. Professor, before we go, I ain't gonna sleep good unless I say this. I hold this until next week, Tuesday. God spare life. If I live. Professor,
You can't go nowhere now.
No. I can stay here till the man come like you.
Okay, good.
Professor, last week on this show, the only thing we said, I want to bring up Venezuela before we go. Professor, I sat here and said, hold on now. It's one thing for them to take the president out of Venezuela. Okay. And they said they were going after drugs. For months they were saying drugs, right?
That's very true.
After they took the president out of Venezuela, they ain't talk about drugs no more, Professor.
It just stopped.
It's just oil.
That's what I hear, that oil. Now it's oil.
President Trump said we could bring the oil here and share it with our energy leaders. All around the world, the leaders are saying, hold on, this is against international law. So this is not the time to get into the details, but we spoke about it last week. Professor, do you know that while we said, wait a minute, where are they traveling with that oil? Because if they take the oil and some type of conflict breaks out, didn't we say that?
Yes.
What if they got to take the oil north towards Canada? Professor, the report just come out, just like we said last week, Friday. Do you know that they bringing that oil through and into the Bahamas?
Now that's a problem.
You think anybody can say anything about that?
That's a big problem.
Professor, Tuesday we'll discuss it, but the U.S. Senate are split half and half, whether President Trump can go ahead with more action in Venezuela, number one. And finally, war submarines, Professor. Very important. War submarines are in the region to protect Chinese and Russian shipping.
We're going to have to stop right there because we are out of time. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson. I'm going to have my say on Monday because Monday is Constitution Day. And of course, Brother Hyla will be here on Tuesday when we have Open Line Tuesday. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson. Thank you very much for listening and participating. Have a very pleasant weekend. Please pray for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is 99.5 Global FM, your number one source for R&B in the Bahamas.
Bahamian feel-good food in the right atmosphere. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever you choose. It's the Cricket Club Restaurant at Haynes Point, West Bay Street. The food